Short text intro on music, can you write or intro to your own?
What we're going to do in a minute is we're going to go around the table and everyone's going to say what they're doing. Okay.
One of the things people are going to be coming to the site for is to see what is your experience of Los Angeles and theater and what's happening to you.
I'm interested in the state of incarceration, but I'm interested in doing that. And
Okay, that's great. Now, who's your team leader?
Lori.
Okay, great. And we know, a lot of people know a lot about that because I've even seen it. So
Okay.
you can get some background on that from us.
Pull behind you. It wasn't none of that loud back and forth like on the county jail buses that used to bring us from court. I never saw myself as an artist, as an actor. The way I came to it, initially I was starting a recovery meeting in the same space at the same time as LAPD was scheduled to rehearse. You gonna come see our show, man? So I came to see the performance and was pleasantly surprised by the artistic value in it. But still, I'm a street guy, I'm a lawyer, I'm a recovering person. You know, fuck that art. You get a Times Square with everything. I still have a hard time seeing myself as an actor. I prefer a term, I think Peter Sellers coined it, artivist. You know, so that my activism, right, comes through the art. My story is that I got a GED in the Brooklyn House of D, and I got a JD degree. I was a public interest lawyer, a public defender. I did criminal defense work. My law practice at the end was making appearances for other lawyers. So everybody wants a job where all you got to do is show up. That crack cocaine, I couldn't show up. When I got to prison, I didn't want to be there, but it wasn't, and it isn't in my community, the stigmatizing, you know, infamous thing that it is in other communities, because it's so commonplace. Come Freddie around here. This guy don't think it's funny, man. Pretty Ronnie Walker in the house. The deal with Pretty Ronnie is we met in prison. Nice man, you know, recovering addict. And I said, hey man, look, now that you're clean, come on and get involved with this theater group.
Whether I was either selling drugs or both, I always used them. So either I was selling, but I had to adapt and become so many different characters because of the trade that I was in. You know, when you live in the street life, you know, you have to adapt. You know, you adapt. So I became so many different characters that to go into acting, it was no problem.
So I wanted to get him involved with something, number one, because he's my homie, he's my partner. But secondly, because the joy that we get, because our works are usually original works. And so we start out doing improvs, and then it's based on our experiences. So when you end up performing something on stage to an audience, that comes from you, that it's your baby. Soon we was gonna be strip searched. Soon we were going to be sprayed. Soon we were going to be examined and degraded just as my forefathers had been. We've always wanted to be a part of something. And for addicts, you'll always hear that. You know, I felt alone in a crowded room, you know? And so with LAPD, you know, we're a part of something that gives us that voice. Somebody is hearing us somewhere, you know? By the way, Ronnie was not called Pretty Ronnie in prison.
I wouldn't have flared.
That wouldn't have worked. We wouldn't have been tight.